Alright, so the bag is in, and I want to do a real quick kind of update, first impressions, show you what I saw. It is as advertised. It's basically just a slightly bigger Rush 72 with a few small changes and a couple of extra pieces included. I would say that in every way this is a better bug out bag if you are under 5'10". I am not yet convinced that the differences are enough to make it a good choice if you're over that, especially if you're, say 6'2" or so, if you plan on doing any walking with it. So if your bug out plan is to have a bag you can grab and put in your car, and you don't expect to walk anywhere, which I don't know if that's realistic to assume, then you might be able to get away with it. But playing with the straps, I have not yet been convinced that it'll be a comfortable load for somebody who's tall for any long distances. Excuse me, my voice is a little hoarse today. So a couple of quick things. You see the reflective striping here on 3 sides. That's one of the differences that I mentioned in the last video. It's a nice little addition for safety that, again, if you find something to wrap over these, for example, there are strap keepers that you can get that are basically Velcro that maybe would fit around this, I'm not quite sure, or something else you could find, a small pouch that would cover up those. Then if you needed to get rid of the reflective material, you could. That would work. Otherwise, not a bad addition. It is a little bit taller up top, as I said, so we got the 3 levels. You can see the top of this bag if you compared it to a Rush 72. That ends a little bit further down here, so we're a little bit further up, a little bit taller. Put it on its side here. You can kind of see that it's a bit taller. Sorry about my shadow. Find a better spot to do this for future videos. It is definitely a bigger bag. Okay. Again, you don't necessarily have to fill it with more stuff, but one of the things I've been thinking about is you have kind of 2 constraints when you're building a bug out bag, and that is the weight, obviously, and the other is volume. And so having a bigger bag, while it may not allow you to carry more weight, might allow you to carry more volume. So I kind of thought about this when I was at one of the big box, maybe Field and Stream or something, but I was looking at sleeping pads. And I really don't want to put one in there unless it's going to be very, very lightweight. And I was looking at 2 different kinds, and there were the self-inflating ones that roll up nice and small, and then there were the sort of fold-up foam ones that seemed a little bit bigger, but were extremely light. And there's one that actually folds up in a panel that's maybe 6 inches wide, folds up like that. That might be a nice choice that would fit in here vertically and be very, very light, and all it would do is take up volume that I have more than enough of. So that's something I would definitely look at. The other difference that I was really excited to see about were these load lifters. So we have these extra straps here that you do not have on the Rush 72 that allow you to pull the load, especially the top of the load, towards you. Like I said, I've been playing around with the straps on this, and I haven't yet really found a configuration where I can get it to stay really on my hips comfortably. It feels like there's just something that needs to change for that to work, and I don't know if it's putting something on the lumbar to make it fit into the small of your back a little bit better, and so I may, if I decide to keep this, I may look at possible ways to do modifications to it to try to make that a little bit more comfortable. Not a lot, but just something that helps it fit just that little bit better. I do think that the load lifters are a nice addition, and so that's a good thing to have. So again, if you're looking at this bag and you're under 5'10", it's great to have those on there. That might work well for you. The last change I want to point out, and before I go in there, I'll notice this does have the updated design of the newer Rush 72s. So when you unclip this compression strap here, this pocket won't just fall all the way out. It has something to keep it. That was one of the things they added with the more recent design on the Rush 72, so I was happy to see that that was included. If we open this up on the other side, that, get that. Okay, go to the main pocket. Start at the top here. Turn this a little bit. Open this up. See, there's a ton of room here. This was actually something I picked up, and you can see $99.97. Sorry. So that was a pretty good deal. I was happy about that. I actually went to Gander to see if they had the Grand Mesa 2 by Kelty, and I was going to do a price match because Field & Stream had them for 99 bucks. And I grabbed this, thinking I was grabbing the Grand Mesa 2, and I got home and I'm like, oh, hey, it's the Sellita 2, which is actually, I would say, designed to be a little bit warmer. The panels come up high. It's not quite so much full mesh, so it might be better when it gets a little bit colder. And living up in New York, that's definitely a concern. So this is maybe not a true 4-season tent, but at least it can push a little bit later into the fall and a little bit earlier in the spring. And the weight difference is almost nothing. In fact, it might even be a little bit lighter. I'm not sure. They're both just over 4 pounds. So that's actually why I got it. I'm not going to be bugging out by myself, most likely. Hopefully, I have my family with me, so an adult and a small kid. And so having a tent like this, that it will be a tight fit. It's not going to be the most comfortable thing. It's only a 2-man tent, but would be enough to give us protection from bugs, from rain, from snow. It's freestanding. You can set it up without any stakes if you need to, and you can do it fairly quickly. So I thought that was a great addition. Plus, given the shape, it's packaged as a flat rectangle as opposed to most of them which are tubular, which I thought would fit in nicely, and it does actually, as you can see, fit in here really nicely. If I need to, I can split up this weight. There's the main tent, there's the fly, and there's the poles in here. That can be split up very easily between 2 packs. So you have that option. Probably not going to take this tarp with me. I just had it sitting around, so I threw it in there to see. It's rather large, 8 foot by 10 foot. Right now I don't have a footprint for the Sellita 2. May or may not get one, but I have a tarp anyway. And it's not the lightest thing in the world, so I will probably replace it. But again, I was just trying to get some weight in here to try things out. And then you get to the 2 utility packs, which, again, as I thought, these are a really nice, at least potentially, really nice addition to a Rush 72. You basically have these 2 packs here, and see if I can do this one-handed. And they're identical except for the color. Sorry about the camera work here. One of these, I think, was an IV kit, and I forget what the other one was. Here I've got a set of the tier system straps that I'm going to use possibly as compression straps. An aluminum set here, a little small pocket that I bought when I was ordering it just for the fun of it. But you got these 2 little kits, and each one has a little fold-out section, lots of little webbing things you can put stuff into, small pockets. You could clip on, possibly, might be able to put MOLLE stuff here, lots of little things, mesh pockets here, a couple more retaining straps. So if you could figure out a good way to utilize the space in these 2 things, again, maybe food prep stuff, including maybe fire making stuff could go in there. I have an EMS kit, but you could potentially put one in here. You could find a way to utilize these to really organize your bag, and they do fit in there nicely. Put some stuff on the side, or fill these pockets, maybe not so much, but it fits in there really nicely. Obviously you can get a little bit more layers, as I had with the tent and the tarp. So again, worth a little bit extra, maybe not the $240 or whatever they wanted originally, but for $180 something it was not a bad buy. We have all the usual mesh pockets here on the inside, a little bit bigger, of course, because of the size of the bag, so a little bit more storage area there. We've got the usual stuff up here, hydration. There is the interior piece there that I may look at. It did seem to stand up straight, which the other one is not known to do, the Rush 72, so maybe I just haven't packed it up yet, or maybe that is an advantage of the taller pack. We'll have to see. Still got a lot to play with, but again, trying to figure out whether the straps will actually be enough of an advantage for somebody tall like me. It does seem to want to sit more on my waist than on my hips, so kind of got these fairly tight, being, like I said, a relatively slender build. So everything's tightened down pretty far, but I could kind of get it on my hips, but not as much as I would necessarily really like in at least a backpacking pack. For this, it might not be so bad, but we'll see. One small gripe, actually not so small gripe, coming from my range bag is one of the Takedown Hazard 4 bags, and every single strap has one of those little Velcro retainers built into it, so you can just fold them up and lock them down. This on all my straps hanging out there, really annoying. I did find a company that sells those Velcro retainers. May pick some up, but you know, they were $6 for a 10-pack, not a huge deal. But it's like, come on, 511, you're a good company with a good reputation, and other companies you're competing with are including that small little detail that is really handy for free. So what's up with that? Anyway, this is just a real quick overview, kind of look at the bag, show you what it's like. It is basically just a bigger Rush 72. Not huge, not substantially bigger, but just a little bit extra space. Again, lets you carry more volume, not necessarily more weight.